Welcome to the podcast. As every week, we'll be bringing you up to date with some of the most important world news stories. Let's get started. Tensions rose high when police clashed with attendants at a vigil in memory of Sarah Everard in London Saturday night. After a serving officer was charged with the 33-year-old Everard's kidnap and murder, British women started demanding a new law making street harassment illegal. On Saturday, they had a vigil, which had officially been cancelled after the police refused to give the organizers a permit on the grounds of health risks. Despite this, hundreds gathered in South London to remember Sarah Everard and call for changes in law. According to The Guardian, many attendants said they only decided to show up after police effectively banned the vigil. As tensions rose between the police officer and mourners during the peaceful, largely socially distanced event, police ended up trampling flowers and candles laid out in tribute to Everard and told the crowd to disperse, threatening to arrest those who stayed. Last night, a protest was held to demonstrate against the police crackdown on Saturday's vigil. More than 1,000 people gathered in London, calling for the resignation of the Metropolitan Police Commissioner, Cressida Dick, and the scrapping of a new bill that would give police more powers to crack down on protests. Sunday's protests did not result in a clash with police, who kept their distance from the crowd throughout the event. Several European countries have suspended the use of the Oxford-AstraZeneca vaccine after a series of incidents in Europe involving blood clots. Germany, France, Italy, Ireland, and the Netherlands are taking a precautionary step because of claims of side effects, including serious blood clotting. The World Health Organization claimed there was no link between the vaccine and an increased risk of developing a clot, and urged countries to keep using the vaccine. The European Medicines Agency also said there is currently no evidence that the vaccine could have dangerous side effects. The pharmaceutical company recently announced further cuts to deliveries of its vaccine to the European Union, citing export restrictions which make the transport of vaccines difficult. The Catholic Church would not bless same-sex unions, said the Vatican in a statement released this Monday. In the released note explaining their decision, the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith referred to homosexuality as a choice and described it as sinful. They said it's impossible for God to bless sin, but did note some positive elements in same-sex relationships. In October, Pope Francis said in a documentary that same-sex couples should be allowed to have civil unions. In the wake of his statements, some parishes in recent months, including in Germany and the US, started giving blessings to people in same-sex relationships. Now, in response to questions from pastors, the Vatican commented on the issue in a note approved by the Pope, saying same-sex unions cannot be blessed. However, they insisted that the negative judgment on the blessing of unions of persons of the same sex does not imply a judgment on the persons. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Next week we'll be back at the same time. Take care.